Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here,
AdvBlueDude.
and welcome to Nuts and Bolts, the show where we dive into theme parks from the other side of the Disney pond. Yeah, I don't know why I just went into a sing-song on that, but I just felt like it. How are you, Adventure Blue Dude?
Yes.
That is your response.
Yeah.
Alright, fine, fair enough. Okay, so we are here to talk about, for the first time on Nuts and Bolts, Universal Studios, because really, this show has kind of been focusing more on Six Flags coasters, and then we just did a show about Dollywood's kind of coaster renaissance. But now we get to the king of sort of Disney's rivals. So what do you think about the fact that Universal Studios, both Orlando and I think to a lesser extent Hollywood, but there still is an argument for Hollywood, they've both kind of stepped up to the plate and are like, all right, we might not be as big as Disney, but we're certainly providing a challenge for them. What do you think of just the whole rivalry in general?
It's weird. Like, over the past 5 years, they just kind of, like, said fuck it and just started, like, doing all this shit. But, like, it's really interesting because, like, they just, like, I mean, they were always there, but they really just kind of came out of nowhere and started doing all of these amazing things while Disney has slowly been on the decline. Not on decline, but you know what I mean by that.
Oh, yeah, I very much. I mean, Cars Land is great. It kind of still fits with the whole, like, franchise everything that I don't agree with, but just on a sheer Imagineering practicality level, I very much respect it. You know, it's got old school animatronics, it's got a huge scale. I think the WDW end is where it's really suffering.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like, Tokyo's still, like, flourishing, like...
Oh, hell yeah.
Paris is starting to get better again.
Yeah,
and
we'll see how that goes.
I think they'll do well if they stop being bad.
If they stop being bad, that's a good
word. Stop sucking, they'll be doing great. And, yeah, Florida's really starting to suffer because... I'm not sure if it's TEO, I'm not sure if it's just the execs, but, like, nobody seems to care anymore.
Right.
Or rather, they do, but they seem to focus solely on synergy, and they don't realize that there's a fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just...
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train just really quick.
What do I think of it?
Yeah.
It looks like a great ride. Like, if they could have done that for the entirety of New Fantasyland...
Sure.
It would have been absolutely incredible. I mean, like, for some reason, I'm really fascinated by the Little Mermaid Dark Ride. And it's a good dark ride, but compared to the other ones, it's really not. Like, standalone, it's a good dark ride. But
yeah, right, I hear it. It just doesn't have that classic feel to it. I think
it really doesn't.
Like, it's way more, like, kind of spread out, which is kind of a problem in a way, oddly enough. It kind of, like, lingers in a weird way between being an E-ticket and a D-ticket, which I think is kind of awkward.
Yeah. My problem is that it doesn't have an end.
Oh yeah, that's
it's just like Prince Eric and Ariel kiss,
Woohoo!
And then suddenly Ursula's exploding in the background while King Drake's like beckoning you with his fucking trident. But California fixed some of that, but that has yet to happen.
Well, they definitely fixed the lighting issue in the
definitely.
section.
Yeah, so. And it looks really cool now with the black light and everything.
Does.
That's what it should have been before.
Yeah,
but that still has yet to hit. That it is yet to hit
Florida,
Disney World, and I kind of doubt it will anytime soon.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Universal Studios. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things I'm kind of worried about with the Hollywood park, but it's weird, though, because I'm definitely, of course, I'm more familiar with the Hollywood park. I think Universal Studios has always been more of a significant rival in Florida, mostly because Florida has a direct movie studio park to compete with.
Well, not anymore, but...
Well, you know what I mean. It's still, like, movie-themed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when they added Islands of Adventure, that definitely raised the stakes. Because I think everyone kind of thinks Islands of Adventure is one of the best non-Disney theme parks there is.
Oh, it's a great park.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah.
And, but with Hollywood, just my experience with the Hollywood park, it's always kind of been this weird sort of niche thing that almost everyone who goes to Universal Hollywood goes there on a one-day kind of side trip from Disneyland.
Well, I mean,
And that's sort of like how everything in Southern California is kind of designed around.
yeah. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of things in Hollywood.
Oh,
Honestly,
no, I mean, the big flaw with Universal Studios Hollywood is the fact that the attraction roster is incredibly limited.
yeah, and I find it weird how Hollywood is kind of becoming Universal Studios Florida Junior, where like they install a ride in Florida and like 3 months later it pops
Oh, I
up.
think that's incredibly annoying.
Yeah,
It's like Clone Central. It's like basically like DCA.
yeah. Well,
Like DCA 1.0 status.
well, yeah. I mean, like it really loses a lot of the exclusivity that a lot of the parks have. Like Disney, like you can go to any Disney park, even a Magic. You can go to any Disney Magic Kingdom park and find at least one ride that's not in another Magic Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, sure, definitely.
Which I find incredible.
Right.
And yeah, I mean it's sort of like that in Hollywood, but
there's definitely the tram tour. That's the one big thing.
Well, yeah.
But the problem with the tram tour for me is, like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's there. It's awesome. It's a really interesting part of theme park history in general. And it's one of the largest and longest theme park rides of all time. But the issue with it is that it essentially crams 5 individual attractions into one, and that basically subtracts the park's overall attraction count by like 5.
Yeah.
And that's the big issue, just design-wise, is the fact that, like, yeah, you get it all, but it's like once you go on the tram ride, like I couldn't imagine, like, I don't know, it's like, would you want to go on the tram ride multiple times in one day if you're there?
In one day?
Sure
No.
Wouldn't.
No, not in one day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
only if they're shooting.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hear you.
That'd be like like if they're shooting and the tram goes by, that I'd be all over it. But
right.
That's really like
Oh god. But yeah, it's like Universal. They have a watered down Mummy. They have, in my opinion, the better version of Jurassic Park, just because they have like the Jeep and the second T-Rex animatronic.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? I mean, other than that, it's just basically fucking Florida clones. It's just like, hey, Simpsons, hey, Despicable Me, yeah. Fucking Transformers. Like, a ride that consists around giant robots, and yet there's one goddamn animatronic in the ride.
To be fair, Transformers started in Hollywood. That was in Hollywood first, yeah. Good point. But still, Harry Potter.
Yeah. And my problem with Harry Potter, like, I was talking about this, like, I very much think that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, like, ideally, especially because you have such a big universe for Harry Potter and the franchise and whatnot, ideally, I think you'd want to create a different landscape for each of the Wizarding World of Harry Potters. I mean, granted, I don't know where else you could go with it. Like, I'm thinking, like, it would be cool to see something like the Quidditch World Cup, or like a Goblet of Fire type setup where you have like, like each attraction is like a different challenge or something like that.
I mean, to be totally honest, I'd love to see something where it's just Hogwarts.
Right.
Because I find it
like a much bigger recreation of Hogwarts.
Yeah, because I find it weird in Florida that
it's like fucking forced perspective Hogwarts that you then go into a cave to.
No, I mean, like, not even that. It's just like, it's such a huge, sprawling school in the books and the movies, yet there's no option for exploration. It's there solely to house a ride, when really they could do so much more with it.
I mean, it's still a damn good queue, obviously.
Oh, no, it is, but the possibilities are fucking endless for that school, and they just couldn't.
So you'd like to see possibly, like, maybe the next Wizarding World of Harry Potter be just an indoor, all Hogwarts sort of thing?
I'd like to be the Hogwarts campus.
Okay, well, yeah, so there'd be, like, some outdoor stuff,
outside,
but it'd be largely indoors.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. And that'd be cool, like having Hagrid's hut and the herbology, and the herbology stuff, and, I could really picture it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the herbology, there's the Chamber of Secrets, there's the, like million things.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I think they could build something like that in Universal Studios, and I very much prefer it.
Mm.
I mean, hell, you could even have the same Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride in
Oh
there
yeah.
if you're too cheap to clone to not come up with an original attraction, which they are because they're cloning it.
Mm.
So thumbs down to that. But but still, I really like to, because I very much fear that it's just going to be like a lot of other Universal Studios Hollywood stuff,
Mm.
where it's just like, okay, here's the Florida thing, watered down. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the opposite of Walt Disney World for Disneyland in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
I must say. Burn. Okay, so so I guess that's your overall thought on the first Wizarding World of Harry Potter, is that I mean, what do you think of the whole element they went for? I mean, I guess we kind of already discussed, like, what do you think of the whole Hogsmeade thing and the fact that Hogwarts kind of looms over the land as sort of this forced perspective weenie?
I know it's very interesting and it's a very good design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion on you. I mean, I respect the Forbidden Journey because it's definitely got projection and 3D and stuff in it, but there's actual animatronics.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but it's just like CGI for me. In a theme park, if it's just screens, it's like I'm fucking looking at nothing. It's like I think, like, even though I'm like, woo, going on a coaster or whatever, it's like it's fucking nothing for me. When there's animatronics, it's something I can reach out and touch and feel, and, like, oh god, such a difference.
Yeah.
And that's why I am still, to this day, I will be eternally pissed off about the fact that Universal Studios literally designed a ride about giant robots and didn't incorporate one damn animatronic, when giant robots are literally the fucking easiest thing in the world to turn into animatronics.
Yeah.
What the hell, Universal? What the fuck were you thinking?
You know what's more disturbing?
What?
It's a ride based on a Michael Bay movie. Oh no, Disney did that too. That's even worse. Oh shit.
How is that Armageddon ride?
I don't know, it's in Paris.
Oh, it's in Paris.
Thank God. Nobody will have to ride it.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh god.
All
Is there
the
a Billy
places.
Bob Thornton animatronic?
What?
Is there a Billy Bob Thornton animatronic?
No, it's an effects show.
Oh, okay. You could still squeeze a Billy Bob Thornton animatronic in there. Oh god. There was a Survivor ride at Paramount's Great America before it became fucking California Great America.
Mm.
And then they renamed the ride after me. They called it the Tiki Twister.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. I still vastly prefer the Survivor theme, of course, but I swear the queue is designed really well. And at the end of the queue, I'm always just like, I really want there to be a fucking Russell Hands animatronic right at the end. Just like beckoning you on, like, I have found the hidden immunity idol. I'm the greatest player of all time. You don't know what you dealing with getting on my coaster. Oh, that would have been magical. That would have been fucking magical. All right, but I digress. Oh god. Okay, so now Universal Studios is, of course, we all know it's pretty much up. I mean, it's just a matter of when they're actually going to release it to the public. I feel like most things in it are already done. They're probably still testing effects on the Gringotts attraction and everything like that, but
Yeah.
I feel like for the most part the paint's almost dry.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they already had the dragon on.
Sure, exactly.
So,
Which
yeah.
fucking we'll talk about that. That blows my mind. But I can't wait to see that thing in action. Oh my god. So I guess you want to kind of give sort of an overall roundup of what to expect in this ride?
Sure.
Go for it.
So,
Oh, I mean expansion, not ride.
yeah. So in this new Wizarding World of Harry Potter expansion, it's actually cool because my understanding of it is that the entire land is enclosed. Like, it's outside, but it's enclosed around a gigantic facade that represents London. So, there's that. If you go into King's Cross Station, you can take a train to Hogwarts / Islands of Adventure, which is also very cool because it's the first, It's the first
land that's connected by 2 parks, which is just like, it's like, well done, Universal. Just, I applaud you for just, literally just one-upping Disney in that regard.
Yeah. It's the first Transpark
experience. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just really impressive on there, and that they were able to do that. And what better way to do it than with something like Harry Potter?
Yeah. And then what else is in there? You go inside, you're on Diagon Alley. They have a Gringotts Gringotts, I apologize, coaster. That it's designed after the scene from Deathly Hallows, obviously the book as well, where you go with Griphook through the bank, and it's in like that weird coaster car. Speaking of that weird coaster car, I don't think they're doing it, and it disappoints me, but I really wish the coaster car was like how it is in the movie.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because it's a really cool idea that is probably actually physically possible.
Sure.
And it would be incredible if they could get it like that, where like the car stays like balanced, like straight up, and not straight up, but not upside down. Well, like, the track and, like, the wheels around you are, like, turning and doing all this shit that's unnecessary but looks badass. But, like, it would be really cool if...
That describes Turtler's Revenge in a nutshell.
Like, it would be really cool if that was actually done, or could be done.
I think the problem with a ride like that is that you've got to keep in mind the theming element. This is very much a heavily themed ride.
Oh, no.
It's like they're keeping the theme like completely under wraps for the most part.
Yeah.
Except we know there's going to be a goddamn Helena Bonham Carter appearance.
Yeah, and they
showed an appearance by Voldemort for some reason, which kind of bothers my OCD. Yeah.
And they showed the loading area.
Oh yeah, it looks fucking badass.
It looks really cool. And animatronics in the queue, Tiki.
You want to go into the history with that?
Way back in the days of Soy Once Being Imagineer, the game in Season 9.
Yeah.
Season 9, the season that I won, I suggested a few animatronics to populate the staff, to represent the staff populace of an airport. Tiki said, "No, that's entirely unrealistic. Why would anyone do that?" Flash forward to 2014, a mere 3 years later, and Universal pulls this, and I want points added to that project.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks really cool because I think they kind of had to do it because the bank would have looked empty.
Yeah, and that whole hall of the goblins is just so iconic.
Oh yeah.
The only other way I could see them foreseeably doing it is just somehow making the queue all outdoors and then the opening scene be that hall. But that would have been... I think it's much cooler that you actually go through that hall. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It literally makes me like just giddy just thinking about it. Just all those animatronics. Oh my god.
And they apparently have a gigantic dragon inside as well as the roof. So they have that. Then they have Ollivanders. Another Ollivanders, because the first one's so popular is my assumption, because you can't really have Diagon Alley without Ollivanders. And then they have the train that goes to Hogsmeade /
And the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
I don't know a whole lot about it, so you can take that.
Okay, this is actually one of my favorite elements of the book, to tell you the truth. I love the idea of Fred and George running a freaking joke shop. Totally fits their character. They're not characters that would, actually kind of like actively go out and get a job as an Aurora or something like that. It's just, it makes so much sense in the context of the franchise
Yeah.
And I just love the idea. It's just super fun. It's just every time Rowling wrote about it, it just sounded like a place I just wanted to go. And just they can come up with so many unique merchandise items. Another thing that, by the way, Disney, Universal is just getting a big heads up on over Disney right now. Just unique merchandise. But I don't know. I'm really digging the idea. Spoiler alert! I'm gonna wave my hand for you. I mean, who's watching this and doesn't know Harry Potter spoilers? Okay, spoiler alert.
Dumbledore dies.
Snape kills Dumbledore. Hashtag.
Yeah.
But
Hashtag. Dumbledore. I don't know. I'm tired.
Okay, but one of the big things that pissed me off was the fact that oh god, it's Fred that what?
Dad is a Dumbledore nail.
Hold on.
But please continue.
I want to literally go on our Twitter right now and tweet that.
Oh Jesus. let's do that after the show. Do that after. We don't even have followers yet.
No, I'm doing it right now.
So Harry
I don't
Potter...
care if we don't have any followers. That'll get us followers. Okay, I digress. I will do it after the show.
Yeah.
But the thing that pisses me off is that Fred dies and we don't get any sort of resolution on what happens to George after the fact. That really bothers me for some reason. That George, of all the characters, oddly enough, is the one character I wish we would have got more closure on. But this isn't really a Harry Potter podcast, so let's not. But okay, so I guess the Gringotts. I mean, what do you think of the whole idea of the dragon on the top of the building? Because from day one, when I saw that concept art, I was just in love with it.
It sounds really incredible, and I'm sure it will be, since they've actually figured it out, like physically. Yeah. What
do you think of the idea of it just being literally just too intimidating for kids, and kids just not even wanting to walk by it? Because I know for a damn fact, if I was like 5 years old, that thing would scare the shit out of me. I wouldn't want to go anywhere near it.
I think it would be up high enough.
Okay.
Where it wouldn't really bother kids necessarily.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear what you're going for sure. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I still think it's just something like even high up as a kid, I would have just been scared.
Oh no, I'm sure it'd frighten some kids, but it's not like it's at ground level.
Yeah, right.
So if they really wanted to, like they could probably go in there and not even notice it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be hard not to notice, but I mean, like if.
Well, I mean, I was about to say, like, I'm hoping it's just like literally like the visual center point of the whole land.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's gonna be.
So,
it seems like it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. Do you think there's going to be a Nocturne Alley?
I hope so. It would be really cool.
That's the one thing I am just totally crossing my fingers for. Universal has kept most of the details for this under wraps, so I just think that's just one of those little things that lends itself so well to a theme park environment that my mind just explodes just thinking about how cool it could be. Just like it's just a little just off to the side area. It doesn't have to be very big. It's just, oh man, it would work so well. It would work ridiculously well. But all right, so I guess the last thing to talk about is sort of the train ride itself. So I guess starting at platform 9 3/4, what do you think of this whole mystery surrounding how they're actually going to physically transport guests through that wall?
Yeah, I don't know how they would.
It's something that Universal's really been hyping up.
Are they? Have they been?
Oh yeah. Huh. They're just like, yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like, it's definitely something that they're just like, oh yeah, just come and see it because it's just fucking amazing, essentially.
The only thing I could think is like a really heavy smoke screen.
That's the only thing I can think of too. Yeah,
but that
for sure.
that would get really unruly and very difficult to control and always keep the illusion there.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting to see what they come up with on opening day. I'm sure they'll make a big deal out of it, have like a big, ceremony where the first person walks through it and everything. I'm sure there'll be all of that.
Yeah.
They've also been kind of keeping under wraps the actual show elements of the Hogwarts Express.
Hmm.
Now, one of the rumors, and I find this really interesting, one of the rumors is that at one point, and keep in mind, I believe the ride itself is only going to be about 2.5 minutes, so this might be a little bit inconceivable. But at some point, it's rumored that there's going to be a Death Eater attack. Or, I'm sorry, not a Death Eater, a Dementor attack.
That could get old really quickly.
Yeah, you're right, it could.
Yeah.
However, I think what could be cool about it is just them just dramatically lowering the temperature, just literally like blasting you with cold air.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, they'd have to do it right. But, like, what I think they should do, with it being a transportation system, people would take it, my assumption would be, like, once, maybe twice a day when they're in the park. So, it would be really cool if they could randomize it.
Yeah, and definitely get, like, different things going on for...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
For both ways, of course.
And I'd also love it if they have the woman walking around with the...
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
I'm sure that's going to be there. It'll be so
cool.
It's
confirmed to be there.
Is it? Cool.
The one thing I'm confused by, though, is that it's such a quick ride. It's like, holy shit, you wouldn't even think she'd have enough time to get around to everyone. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they have one in each car.
One in each car?
Yeah, that'd be my assumption.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, would it just be like a vending machine, essentially?
My assumption would be instead of an actual cart, she might just be having, like, one of, like the things that vendors at baseball games carry around.
Okay, sure. But I'm saying, like, there's, like, going back to an issue, it's like there's a lot of, that's a lot of cast members, like, individual cast members, if you're assigning, like, one for each car.
Well, also, how long's the train? It can't be that long. Maybe, like, 3-4 cars? That's six cast members to a train. That's not that bad.
Yeah, okay. I suppose. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, it's just really interesting. Just of course, everything just looks beautiful. Everything on Diagon Alley's on this big waterfront, I think. Or no, is it King's Cross that's on the waterfront?
Yep.
Okay, my mistake.
Don't mention the waterfront.
Why?
That's what Jaws used to be.
Oh, God. You got to admit, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's better than It's better than Back to the Future being replaced by The Simpsons at the very least.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's something worthwhile instead of like, hey, let's change this film from a classic franchise into something that's just like still technically classic, but dying a slow and horrible and miserable, painful death.
It is not dying a slow, horrible, miserable, painful death.
You've watched recent seasons?
It's actually been making a comeback in the past, like, 2 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that?
No, like, the writing's actually gotten a lot better again.
Wow. That's surprising.
They had a really good Lego episode a few months ago.
Oh.
It was actually really similar to the Lego movie.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently started writing it before the Lego movie was
God.
So, like, it was just total, like, happenstance. But, like, it's a really cool episode where they were all Legos, but it was cool, yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
But I digress. Huh.
Alright, so, I feel the one last thing I want to bring up is a bit of, appropriately enough, a bit of open brainstorming. So what do you think of the idea of doing a Harry Potter attraction with flying forward Angelinas?
Oh, I'd love that. Like, I was just gonna, like... Like I was about to suggest a Whomping Willow attraction, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really the perfect flat ride for a Harry Potter land.
That's true. That's very true. Right. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. But yeah, I've always thought that the Flying Ford Angelina would be like the perfect ride vehicle.
Mm.
And I hope to see it eventually get used in one of these Harry Potter attractions one day. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be really cool to essentially combine flying technology with an EMV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man, I think there's a lot of potential in that.
Maybe they could even get the Soren guys to do it.
Fucking erector set.
They'll break out his erector set. 2 months later, just give him like a pile of just metal shit. It's not even a thing. Like it's melted somehow. I don't even know how. They just screwing it in so vigorously that it just started like conglomerating and melting. I apologize.
One day I am going to get that Imagineer on this channel, and I'm not going to tell you that he's going to show up, and I'm going to bait you into talking shit about him right when he does show up. I'm going to make that a life goal of mine. Because make no mistake, I completely agree 100% with your view on Soren, but that's a whole different podcast. Oh god, oh god. Alright, so before we sign out for the evening adventure Blue Dude, you want to tell the fine folks where to find us on the web?
Yes.
Alright, go for it.
We have a subreddit, and we have a Twitter, and we are also on...
Fresh, very new.
We are also on the Facebooks. So, and we also have a forum. It's sywtbai.com. For all your armchair Imagineering needs, we have like seriously, if you want to go there, like submit ideas. It's a really good community. It's been around for a while. We have contests.
Been around since 2007.
Yep.
We have really good people there. Always very welcoming to new people. I always try and contribute to ideas. You know, just very active. You know. Just really a lot of fun. Just a very kind of, you know, it's not one of those forums where your idea is just going to get pushed to the bottom of the page. Like, no, it's like on SYWTBAI, pretty much everyone's idea gets heard out, wouldn't you say? And I think that's actually one of the cool advantages of running a smaller forum like that that's so kind of inclined to creativity.
Yeah.
Is that it's sort of like a small creative writing class as opposed to taking a creative writing class with like 35
it really
people.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like everyone's ideas get heard. So I strongly recommend going on there if you're a fan of just pigeon themed ideas and whatnot.
Yep.
But enough with the shameless self-promotion.
I'm sorry, I was going to finish that. All that's going to be in the description. We're kind of treating the subreddit as a bit of a hub to everything that we have going on. There's not a whole lot on it now, but please go on, like, submit ideas, talk about coasters, talk about whatever the hell you want. But, so yeah.
And it's worth noting that the subreddit and the Twitter and the Facebook and everything are all very much going to be in beta stages for the first couple weeks while we figure stuff out. So.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah.
the forum's been around for a while, but everything else is very much in beta.
Well, yeah, the forum, obviously, is pretty well established.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, so, all right, like I said, enough shameless self-promotion. We hope you guys have been enjoying these theme park videos. We certainly enjoy making them, and yeah, see you next time on the other side of the Disney pond. Yeah.